so far we have been generally dealing with situations where you have two objects that are moving but on the ground, right? Like say A is running, Radha is running this way, so what does Radha say about A, and so on, right? So all of those questions are all relative to the ground. So there we can assume ground is at rest. But there are many questions where it is natural to tell you the information relative to a medium. For example, when somebody says a boat is moving in water at, let us say, 10 meters per second. Now what is that meaning of that boat is moving in the water 10 meters per second? Is it relative to the water or relative to the ground? Well, suppose you are on the sea, let's say in sea. Now in sea you are basically talking about something moving relative to the water, right? Most of the information is given relative to the water because the boat is pushing the water and therefore moving forward. The boat pushes the water backward, you are rowing, you push the water back and therefore the water pushes you forward. So really it is more useful to talk about boat speed relative to the water. Now suppose you are living in a lake, then or basically you are basically boating in a lake. In that case, when you say relative to the water, it's really not a big problem because the lake water is at rest. So the boat, let us say a particular boat has an ability to go at 10 meters per second, same engine working, the engine is working at the same rate. You will go in a lake 10 meters per second this way and you will come back like this 10 meters per second. The same boat one day starts going in a river. Okay, now this is a river and this river is going in this direction with some velocity, let us say 2 meters per second. And now imagine that I have this boat. The same boat that on a lake, if you look at this boat would move easily at 10 meters per second. I am using the same amount of engine power and then this boat will still move at 10 meters per second relative to the water. You see, it's pushing the water back and so relative to the water the boat moves at 10 meters per second. But this water was not at rest. So if relative to the water it is 10 meters per second, but the water carries you further. So that means effectively from the ground, what will this guy see about the boat? This guy will say you are going 10 from here to there, but then the water further took you another 2. So effectively you went 12 meters each second. Do you understand what I am saying? So this guy is going to say 12 meters per second is the speed of the boat. When the boat goes in this direction, so let us say the boat goes like that, turns around and starts coming back. So let us say it was here, it will go 10 meters per second relative to the water. So it will come 10 meters like this if it was still water. But the water is taking you there. So you will go back. I mean, you won't really go forward and back, but water will stop you from going forward in the first place. So you will actually go only 8 meters per second. So that means your velocity of the boat relative to the ground is 8 and 12, but relative to the water it is 10. So many questions will just tell you the speed of the boat is 10. What does that mean? Relative to water. So usually we give speeds or velocities relative to medium. Let us understand how to calculate using this. So you say if the water was 0, then the boat is 10. Or when it is going in this direction, the boat is 10. But water is at 0? No, right? Water is moving at 2 meters per second. So then if I add a 2 meters per second in this direction to water, what should I do? What is the basic idea for relative motion? What you add to somebody, you must add to everybody. So you must add 2 in this direction, and to this fellow also you must add 2 in this direction. But if I add 10 plus 2, what is this? 12. And if I add 10 plus 2, it is 8. So this is equivalent to 8 meters per second in this direction. Is that idea clear? When the water is at rest, the boat moves at 10 or 10. when the water is moving, you have to add to it because water is moving, it's a river, right? So water is moving, then you add the water's velocity to the boat. Now there are formulas for this. My suggestion is don't worry about those formulas. You can say relative velocity is given, so add the velocity of the medium. Don't do it like that. My suggestion is draw it like this. If this fellow is at rest, that fellow is 10. Then add 2 to make this fellow the actual velocity seen by the ground. Now the ground is at rest. You can't say ground is also at rest, water is also at rest, right? Water is at rest, ground is not at rest. But if you want ground to be at rest, remember you have to give that extra 2 to the water. But if you add the 2 to the water, you must add it to everybody, and that's how you will calculate. So you know how to go from velocity as seen by the medium or velocity relative to the medium to velocity as seen by the ground. Many problems, it's very useful to think in terms of velocity relative to the medium. For example, suppose this boat was moving at 10 meters per second and this boat dropped a small plastic box. Now the plastic box is floating with the water. So in the beginning the plastic box may actually jump down, but as soon as it hits the water it basically will stop. Stop relative to the water. So the plastic box is moving at 2 meters per second. Now you can argue plastic box is moving at 2 meters per second, boat is moving at 12 meters per second. Or you can just simply say relative to the plastic box. Relative to the plastic box means relative to the water, because water is the same as the plastic box, both are moving together. So it's here relative to water, what is that speed? 10. So let us try to look at a couple of questions which can be very tricky if you can't do it relative to water. But if you do it relative to water, the question becomes extremely simple. So now let us look at this question. So in this question, there is a boat which moves at 8 meters per second relative to the water. And so this boat drops a plastic bottle. So here is a plastic bottle into the water, and the bottle keeps floating. Now this fellow goes like this for 50 seconds. So from here to there, it travels for 50 seconds. And then sees that there is a policeman who is going to catch this fellow, because obviously you shouldn't be throwing plastic bottles into the river. And so this fellow now turns around and goes in this direction to pick up the bottle. What do you think the bottle will be doing all the time? Do you think it will remain there? No, right? It will start moving this way. So the bottle moves somewhere till here, and the boat has to come till this point and meet the bottle and basically pick up the bottle, right? It's a very large bottle compared to the boat, but don't worry about that. So this time is 50 seconds. What do you think will be this time? The question that is being asked is the total travel time for this fellow to pick it up. Basically, if you knew this time, that time is 50, 50 plus t. We can solve this in 2 ways. Okay. So first I will solve this the long way, then I will show you the power of relative motion. So let us solve this the long way. Now we are solving this entire thing from the ground frame. What does this ground frame say is the actual velocity of the boat as seen by this guy? So what does this guy tell you is the velocity of the boat? The river is moving down at 2 meters per second. So what do you think is the velocity of the boat? 8 plus 2. So the boat was moving at 8 plus 2, 10 meters per second for how long? For how long? 50 seconds. So that is 50 seconds. So what is this distance according to the fellow on the ground? What is this distance? 50 seconds, 10 meters per second, 500 meters. V into T. Meanwhile, this bottle which started here, the bottle is moving with what speed? 2 meters per second. So the bottle is moving at 2 meters per second. So in these 50 seconds, it would have traveled some distance. How much? How much would the bottle have traveled? 50 into 2, 50 seconds. So in 50 seconds, it would have done 50 into 2, which is 100 meters. So this is 100 meters. Now this bottle is still moving at 2, and now the boat has reversed, and so the boat is going to come like this. But according to this fellow on the ground, what is the speed of the boat? The boat is moving at 8 minus 2, because this fellow boat will move 8 and the water will take you back So you can think of it as 6 meters per second. But they are not going to meet here, right? They are going to meet somewhere here. So this is where the bottle and the boat meet again. This time is t, that is this point, right? And then this time is also t, because the bottle is moving for t seconds. But this whole time is how much? Whole distance is how much? This is 100 meters. So what is this whole distance? 400, correct? So what is this distance? 6t. What is this distance? 2t. So 2t plus 6t is this distance, which is equal to 400. And then that is 8t is 400. So t turns out to be how much? 400 by 8. How much do you get? 50 seconds. What a surprise. This took 50 seconds. This took 50 seconds. Is that a coincidence or it's generally going to be true? You understand that it's 50 seconds, but we did such a lot of work. We said, okay, this is 100, this is 2 into t, that is 6 into t, so this is 8 into t, that must be equal to 400, lot of work. Let us do this in a completely different way. So I want you to look at this carefully. Instead of doing this guy, bad frame, let us do the entire thing relative to the bottle, relative to the water. Relative to the bottle, what is the speed of the bottle? 0. What is the speed of the boat? 8. And boat was traveling some distance for 50 seconds at 8 meters per second. But then, relative to the bottle, the boat will have to come back all the way. So whatever distance it traveled, I don't have to calculate the distance, whatever distance it traveled, it has to come back, says the bottle. Now the bottle says, I am not going anywhere, I am here. The boat went at 8 meters per second, boat is coming back at 8 meters per second. Look at this, 2 meters per second, 6 meters per second, relative to the boat, relative to the bottle, it is 8 meters per second. But you already know relative to the water, it is 8 meters per second. So the bottle says, this is the bottle. Bottle says, I am at rest. Boat went at 8 meters per second for 50 seconds. The boat is coming back at 8 meters per second. How long will it take to come back? 50 seconds. Same distance, same speed, so it will take 50 seconds. So the bottle says, if it took you 50 seconds to go, it will take you 50 seconds to come. That is relative to the bottle or relative to the water. So you understand how quickly you can calculate that this must be 50 seconds without worrying about anything. So in fact, the way we will do this is that we will say this is 50 seconds, this must be 50 seconds. But it doesn't meet it here, it meets it there. So this time for the boat was 100 seconds and this time for the bottle was 100 seconds. Now we will go back to the ground frame and then say 100 seconds into 2 meters per second, 200 meters. So the question said, how far from the original point did you meet? 200 meters. But to calculate time, we use the bottle or the river frame, and this is what we will generally do. So whenever you get a problem, you think about transforming the frame to something that is slightly different. Just like we have river boat problems, right? This is a very common term used, the kind of problems that we saw. We will also have aeroplane problems. Now aeroplane moves in what medium? In air, right? So whenever we talk about an airplane or aeroplane, whichever way you want to say it, then you are looking at, instead of talking about river and water, you will be talking about air and wind. Okay. So for example, if I have an airplane like that, which is flying in this direction, let us say 200 meters per second. And let's say the wind has no velocity. Right now there is no wind. Basically there is air and there is stationary air. This velocity is relative to air. So air is not moving. How much will it actually move from the ground? The ground person is going to say this is 200. But if there was also an air flow, air was also moving at, let's say, 50 meters per second, this is still relative to air. That is, if air was 0, the aeroplane moves at 200. But air is not 0, air is 50. So you add to this 50. But if I did that and made air move with 50, remember I have to also add 50 to this fellow. So what is the velocity of the aeroplane as seen from the ground? 250. Exactly like what we did with the riverboat question, except that we are now doing it with air and we are doing it with the aeroplane. So if the aeroplane was moving in the opposite direction, remember, think of it this way. There are two ways to do this. You can say wind is 0, aeroplane is moving at 200. Add to the wind plus 50 in this direction. Add to this fellow plus 50 in that direction. But 200 plus 50 like that. 200 this way and 50 that way. I call it plus, but remember you have to do it as a minus. So 200 minus 50 will give me 150 meters per second in this direction according to the ground reference frame. So this fellow will say the aeroplane is moving at 150. This is one way to argue. The other way to think of it this way, you say that no air, aeroplane moves 200 on its own, plus the wind takes you additional 50. So keep the wind here and you say relative to the wind, aeroplane has moved 200, plus wind itself has moved 50, so 250. In this direction, you say aeroplane has moved 200, wind took you back 50, so therefore you only moved 150. So whatever you are doing in air. Sometimes they may say ground is observing this fellow's velocity as 200. That means this guy says 200, it's not relative velocity. Usually we talk about velocity of aeroplanes relative to the air, but if somebody says, I observe, you are observing from the ground, I observe the aeroplane moving at 450 meters per second, that means you are talking about it as being observed from the ground. I hope that difference is important. You must figure out from the context whether you are talking about this relative to air or relative to the ground. Most cases you will mention this relative to the medium, which is basically air. For river boat, it's with respect to the water. So just simple, think about what the velocity is relative to the medium, and then remember that the medium has a velocity, so you must correspondingly change it by saying let's add the velocity of the medium to the medium, and then you must correspondingly add the 50 to the object as well, right? So keep in mind that when velocities are given, they are usually given relative to the medium, but not always. You have to read the question carefully. Who is the speaker? Are they saying it relative to the object, etc., etc. Now with wind and aeroplanes, when we get to two-dimensional motion, we'll have to worry a little bit more, because usually you'll talk about and you'll of course have to do the same with rivers and boats. This guy is moving in this direction, but the wind velocity may be in that direction, which makes it a little bit more complex. You say the aeroplane went there and the wind took you further there. So that means you would be going in some other direction, but that is something we will come to when we look at two-dimensional relative motion. At this point, we are only going to focus on one-dimensional relative motion. So it is either adding to it or it is subtracting to it, depending on what is the exact situation. So think about the medium and think about the velocity relative to the medium.